Okay, so we're going to use Adobe Premiere Pro, so I'm going to kind of show you the basics of it, and we'll get started on our first project. So it's going to kind of open up, go through some spinning stuff, hopefully not take too long. Okay, it gives you a warning here about third-party audio. Don't worry about that. Just click OK if that happens to you. Okay, and you're going to get this screen that kind of shows what you've been working on. It gives you some little tutorials that you can watch if you want to. We're not going to look at that now. So what we're going to do is we're going to open a new project since we're starting from scratch. So you're just going to click Open a New Project, and then we're going to name our project, and you're going to name this particular project with your last name, and then the name of the project, which is Jazz Video. And I've done this project before, so I'm just going to pick a random number to name it. So we'll say 2020. Looking down here, we're going to decide where we want this project to live. So you may want it to live on your desktop or on your OneDrive or your hard drive, or wherever you want it to live. This is where you're going to choose for it to go. So I'm going to go ahead and let it stay on my desktop and choose that. It says time code, audio samples, HDV. Those are all good. So I'm going to go ahead and click OK and let that stay like that. So now we have our screen, our interface popped up. This lower part right here is where our video clips are going to go. This right part is where our timeline is going to be. Upper left is our source monitor. Upper right is our program monitor. The first thing we want to do is get some clips to work with, because right now we don't have anything in here. So in order to get my clips, I'm going to click File and then Import. Okay, so top menu, File, Import. Click on that. And I have my Jazz Video clips that I'm going to snag here. Okay, so I'll get my Jazz Video project files. I'm going to go ahead and click on that. And then go ahead and import those clips. Okay, so now I see down here I have a folder that has my clips in it. Okay, so I'm going to twirl down, and I'm going to notice that I have a file that has images and some other stuff in there that I don't necessarily need, but this is going to be the basics. When you download your clips, you're going to be downloading them from Google Drive, and I'll show you how to do that in class. So jazz music, that's where our music clip is. So I'm going to go ahead and grab that and drag that over here for our music clip. Okay, so if I play it, you should be able to hear. You hear those snaps in there. Anyway, the music clip is 30 seconds long. If I scrub across it, you kind of hear little bits and pieces of it. If I go down here to this bottom part, I can move this so that it expands. It's still only 30 seconds, but I can see it a little bit better, see what's going on a little bit better, just because I'm making it bigger. Okay, I can make it smaller. There's a little trick. If you click on the backslash key on your keyboard, it will always make it your screen size. Okay, it'll make it your screen size. So I'm going to move this over just a little bit. So I've got a little bit more expansion here so you guys can see the screen. So I've got my music clip in. Now once I put something into the timeline, you can see that I've got an audio line, an audio track, audio track 2, audio track 3. I have all kinds of different audio tracks. We're only going to use one in this particular instance. And then we're going to choose, and we're going to only use one video track. We have all kinds of video tracks that we could use as well. So what I want to do is I want to start editing all the way across here with my different pictures. So now I'm going to go to my image file, twirl down, and I see jazz picture number 1. So I'm going to double click on it so I can get a better look at it, and I see it's up here. I'm going to look on jazz pic number 4. I want to find one of that jazz pictures that is more rectangle. This one's kind of more rectangle because what's going to happen is my setup is going to change based on what kind of picture I have, and I don't want this. I want this to stay a rectangle. So I'm going to grab this one, drag it down here, and now that I've got a picture on my timeline, I can see it up here. All right? So now I'm watching, and if you watch my timeline, you can listen to it. And you hear there's a snap right there. And so that's where I want my edit to be. So I'm going to expand this just a little bit so I can see a little better of what I'm doing. And now I'm going to take the end here, drag it over to where my timeline indicator is, which is what this blue thing is. It kind of follows along when I hit play. And so I want my next picture to be right where that snap is. So I'm going to find another one. I don't want to use the same one. I might get this guy. Grab him, drag him down here. So now I'm going to play it. And I'm going to stop it again. I'm stopping it with my space bar. I could stop it just up here if I wanted to, but I'm stopping it with my space bar. And so now I'm going to grab the end of it, and you see when you get your mouse near the end, you start to see a little bracket. And then it goes up to the end. And now I've got a second picture. And now I'm going to keep on going all the way down until I get and all the way, and we're going to continue out for that whole music clip. Now when I get down to the very end, we'll notice that the beat changes a little bit. Right here, it's going to go quick. Now, instead of just following those slow snaps, you're going to hit every time that saxophone beat hits. So it'll be really quick. Okay, so it'll be really quick, and you're going to hit on every one of those quick beats. All right, so that's going to be the first part of this. The second part is we don't want to have all this black frame around here or around the edges, or particularly with this clip, it's really tiny. So we're going to scale that. So how we would scale it is we're going to click on the clip that we want to move. We're going to click right here. On the timeline, I'm going to click on it. And then I'm going to go up to the top, and I want to click on my effect controls. Right now I've got my source going on here. I'm going to click on my effect controls. Okay, click on my clip again, and I see that I've got some options here. I've got position, scale, rotation, etc. What I want to do is scale it because I want to change the size of it. Okay, so I'm going to move this over just a little bit so we can see a little bit better. Clicked on it. Right now it's at 100%, so I'm going to roll this across it to change the size. And I'm just going to make it a little bit bigger so that it now fills the screen. And we can see that. We can see that it's now going to fill the screen. I'm trying to move this a little bit. There we go. So we can see the whole thing. I'm going to do that with each one of my clips. When I go down to the next one, I'm going to roll across. And I can, in addition to scaling, I can move him left to right, going across the position, the left position. In the right position, I can go up and down to fix it a little bit like that. And then the third one that I have is the one that I really have to do a lot to. So I'm going to click on this guy, click here, go back across, scale him. And I don't really want to chop that guy's head off, so I'm going to move him up and down a little bit. And now it looks like it should look. And all of these should be good. Now, of course, I want to save. And I'm going to do File, Save As, because it's the first time I'm saving. Layer Jazz Video, it tells me where it's saving. And then I'm going to click Save. Do I want to replace one that already exists? Sure, I'm going to replace it. Once you've saved it like that the first time, you can just simply hit Command or Control if you're on a PC, Command if you're on a Mac, S, okay? Control S or Command S if you're on a Mac. Or you can do File and simply Save. So that gets you started on the first section of this. So you're going to go all the way across until you get to the end, and hopefully you're on the beat and hopefully you have rhythm. All right, have fun.